Hello, I'm ArchieLuxury and welcome to the program. And today's topic is... what watch would I pay retail for? What watch would I pay retail for? No discount? Well, fuckers, there aren't that many where I would actually pay retail for. But I gotta be honest with you. I gotta be completely honest with you and tell you that if I was to do that, look, let me say this. The first watch I would pay retail for is the Rolex Daytona. The steel Rolex Daytona. Forget the two-tone. Forget the solid gold. The steel Daytona, you could pay retail. You used to be able to sell it for more, but that's pre-GFC. That's all folklore. But you won't lose a shitload. Also, with the new Rolex sports watches, like the No Date Sub in steel, the Date Sub in steel, the GMT in steel, Explorer 2 in steel, you will lose money, but you won't take a total bath. So generally speaking, if I was going to, what watches would I pay retail for? The Daytona. The steel sports watches are pretty good, but you can generally get a discount on all of these, including the Daytona. Albeit not a huge discount, but you'll get a discount. Naturally, you also should get your GST or duty back because, hey, you can buy a Daytona for about 14,000 in Australia. The duty is 1/11. The GST is 10%. So if you want to work out how much is the GST, it's divide the total by 11, and that gives you the GST component. And if you flew out and you're a bit sneaky and you wore the watch back in, you could get that saving. So I'd definitely be doing that if I was to pay retail, because I don't fucking pay retail. The other thing is that the interesting thing in jewelry and luxury goods is that the more you pay, the better value it is. Let me explain. If you buy a brand new Tag Heuer, it doesn't have, as soon as you walk out the store, you've lost 30-40%. If you buy a complicated Patek, you've lost money, but the cost price to the retail price, the margins are actually slimmer on the higher end pieces. It's like if you buy a 5-carat diamond, the margin is a lot smaller. Yes, they make thousands of dollars profit, but the percentage-wise is a lot more bang per buck than buying a 1/2-carat diamond from that same establishment. That's how it goes. So I'll give you an example. I had on my channel a Patek 3970. That's a perpetual calendar chronograph, manual wind. And that was sold in the early noughties for about $100,000. 60,000 euro, which was 100,000 Australian. He had it for about 14 years, sold it. He got 100,000 from the dealer. The dealer sold it for about 117,000. So he lost money because you could have invested that 100,000. But it hasn't been an absolute bath compared to if he bought a 1/2-carat diamond and then tried to sell it for money years later. And this is the whole thing. The more you spend, generally speaking, the margins are smaller. So yes, they are making thousands of dollars, but the margin percentage-wise is smaller. So the higher end pieces do tend to be more retained value. With that said, I gotta be completely honest with you. I've just spent a lot of time in Hong Kong, Singapore and Bangkok, and the margins and the discounts are not there. Now, I'm not a prick teaser. I had no intention of buying a brand new piece, okay? I buy used. Look at this. This is a, what's that, mid-90s? It's a 20-year-old watch. I reckon that's got real value in it. Generally speaking, they'll give a 10% discount, and they're very reluctant to give much more because Rolex is coming down strong on stores who discount. However, if you walk in with the folding stuff, talk to the manager, not the sales associate, and say, hey, I want a bargain, I want a deal, I want to buy a watch. Make sure you don't get railroaded into a piece, you know, the less popular models, and say, hey, I've got cash today, I want to buy, I want some good discount, let's see what we can do. I'd be surprised if you wouldn't get a discount. You've got to be tough, you've got to know your margins, and you've got to be prepared to walk. So generally speaking, I never see the value in buying at retail. But if it was to happen, the Daytona would be the clear one. That's probably the only watch where you may get your money back. I don't think you'd make money because that bubble has burst. But you wouldn't get skinned. You wouldn't get skinned alive. Also, the sports steel Rolexes. I had an associate who bought a Rolex Oyster Perpetual, paid retail, no discount. He took a fucking bath. Took a huge bath. And I told him, I said it was crazy to do that. And that's what happens when you pay full price. You will fucking do your shirt. You will fucking get a second asshole when you sell it. So be careful there. Be very, very careful. Retail is for suckers. You've really got to buy pre-owned. Breguet Type 20. I love that watch. But you buy one at full whack, they fall. They fall. And someone said to me, oh, they're not as good as the Daytona. Well, that's not necessarily true. I think they're a magnificent watch. The market perception, just because the market doesn't treat it favorably doesn't mean it's anything wrong with that watch. It's just what the market is. The market's a bitch. There's no fairness in the market. There's no logic. It's herd mentality, fuckers. Herd mentality. So just be aware of that. Be a savvy buyer. Do your homework. And know what a good deal is. And, you know, I seriously, you know, I think if you've got cash, you'll get a discount. Be prepared to walk. And this is the secret to negotiating. Being tough and firm. So, you know, if I was to walk in, stay away from two-tone or all gold models. You want big discounts on that. I wouldn't be paying full retail. The Daytona sort of stands out. That's sort of the watch that stands out. And I always say buy pre-owned. Buy pre-owned. It's hard for me to justify to viewers here to buy brand spanking new. It's a fucking mistake. It's a fucking mistake. So there you go. That's my advice there. I'm Archibald Chesterfield III. Tell me what you fuckers think of that. Nice one, Archie. Great vid.